The plaintiffs are claiming that Palillo came to their property, stripped wood off of their barn, and then proceeded to leave the property, later selling that wood on his Facebook. Road closure signs just like this one here are just one way that the city of Lewiston is trying to make sure the drivers stay safe tonight. At the Zion Bank Paint-a-thon, all it takes is a little paint and a little elbow grease to make a difference in this family's life. You can see a helicopter is refueling, and then behind that helicopter is the fire line where flames are still actively burning. This helicopter will take off, get water, and then dump water on those flames. I'm here in front of the brackets of today's tournament. Right now, Missouri Baptist taking on Faulkner. Faulkner leading 8-0. They've scored 3 runs in the last few minutes. Christina was at this house. Her mom said she couldn't pick her up and told her to walk 5 blocks to this corner, where her mom would be watching for her from 2 blocks away up here near her home. But Christina never made it to that corner. She disappeared. All it takes is a few sparks just like these ones here to get into a field like the one behind me to start a fire. But there's a way that you can help prevent that, keeping a bucket of water near so that when you're done using your firework, all you do is put it in the water. That way you know it's out. Well, it was time to go. Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Taser, taser.
Just lay down.
The whole process was recorded on the officer's body cam, just as it would be in a real-life situation. So once again, here I am preparing myself. Okay. Then from his perspective.
Taser, taser. That was a lot of 2 seconds.
They've installed state-of-the-art cameras that can track you and even zoom in on a person's face. I'm on the Nez Perce County side of the river, right by the Southway Bridge. I came to this spot to show you guys something. If you look over my shoulder here, you can see where a lot of logs and debris have stacked up. For reference, this is how long a foot is. This is what it looks like to be 20 feet away. So that's how long your defensible space would need to be. This red portion here is where a plane came by and dropped retardant. You can see where the fire burned and then stopped. Now these right here are juniper bushes. They're a popular form of shrubs here in our area, but they are also extremely flammable, and when they ignite, they burn hot and they burn fast. Rocket Engineering, which is a club here on the University of Idaho campus. We're right here in the steam plant parking lot testing an experimental fuel when something went wrong and it exploded.
Please leave a message after the tone.
Hello, Mayor Lawrence. This is Kaila calling from KLEW News. I've left you a few voicemails, so they let me act as that bystander. Got my life jacket on and my gloves, about to go pull some people out of this icy water. Once the rescuer gave us the signal, we began to pull. Oh, it's heavy. I can tell you, Lewiston Fire makes it look easy, but it's not. In 2016, the task force opened a total of 66 cases and were able to close about 52 of them, meaning that the task force had a success rate of about 78%. Most of those cases ended in arrests and seizures. This is a Pulaski. It's used to dig line, which is a term that means digging a trench so the fire can't reach a certain point. The first step to preventing hypothermia is keeping your extremities warm. That includes a nice pair of snow boots for the winter, a pair of gloves to keep your fingers warm, and protecting your ears. Lots of fun things to do, so make your way down here before LCSC takes on Oklahoma City. Reporting live at Harris Field, Kaila Lafferty, KLEW News.
Kaila, what was the mood like in the courtroom yesterday?
Anna, emotional. Now, this is the second time around. The family members of Beth Irby Thomas at times appeared to be visibly upset, but Joseph Thomas, dressed in a suit and tie, showed little emotion. Nez Perce County prosecutors said it during his first trial in 2011, and they're saying it again, that he killed his ex-wife, Beth Irby Thomas.
That on May 1st, 2011, the defendant had grown tired of that relationship, and that he ended it by strangling Beth to death with his own belt.
But Joseph Thomas Jr. has and maintains his innocence. His conviction overturned in 2014 on appeal, and his attorney, Ann Taylor, says Thomas was a loving father, and he maintained a relationship with his ex-wife for the sake of their children.
The evidence will show you that Beth and Joe were getting along in late April, May of 2011. That they were parenting their little boys.
Both sides say that the day of his ex-wife's death, the two spent some time together and their 2 sons. After putting them to bed, they had sex. But that's where the stories deviate. The defense says she was engaging in autoerotic asphyxiation, and Thomas was not there when she died.
Joe said he left her with the belt.
Some of the most compelling testimony came from Lewiston police officer Trent Auberton. He was the first on scene after the call for a possible homicide was dispatched.
And I ran to the residence, tried to get there as quick as I could.
Once inside, he says he noticed a pile of blankets on the living room floor.
As soon as I pulled those blankets back, a human hand was visible.
Realizing what he was seeing, he reacted, thinking there was hope for saving her life.
I went for the belt. I started trying to get my fingers under the belt, get the belt off her neck.
How tight was this belt?
Extremely tight. It took me a little bit to get my fingers under it and get the belt broke loose.
The trial is expected to last 2 weeks. Reporting in studio, Kaila Lafferty, KLEW News.
Terry Parsons loves cars.
I built up cars all my life.
He loves them so much so that he used to own a racetrack.
I got run over by 3 race cars.
He lost his leg as a result of the accident, but his passion never wavered.
Gas, brake, gas, brake, gas, brake.
Last week, Terry was driving on the Blue Bridge.
When I seen the Subaru coming up behind me, I could not turn to the left because there was a gold Toyota or Honda there.
A black early model Subaru Sidekick rear-ended him, destroying the frame of his car,
Knocked my box loose.
and then took off. At first, he was shocked.
An hour later, it hit me. I could not move my head. I had a terrific headache. My back is messed up.
And his insurance won't cover the damage.
It don't look like much. But if I need to go someplace in a quick hurry, it's always dependable.
But what happened to Terry, it turns out, isn't that uncommon.
So far this year, we've had 55 hit-and-run accidents reported to the Lewiston Police Department.
That is almost one every day since the 1st of January. These accidents vary in damage and severity.
Minor parking lot accidents to accidents on the roadway.
Lieutenant Jeff Clone says fleeing the scene of an accident makes the situation worse for both parties.
And even if you aren't supposed to be driving or you don't have insurance, the consequences for sticking around and maybe getting a minor ticket is much better than the consequences of when you're found, you're looking at potentially going to jail.
And as for Terry, he hopes the person responsible comes forward.
I wish people would slow down and have a little consideration for each other.